What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It is Kevin Forte coming to you today with another video. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here today. And we are going to talk about the Arizona Coyotes. What is next for the Desert Dogs in Arizona? There's a lot up in the air. There's a lot of uncertainty. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of concrete news for you guys, but we're going to go over some scenarios that could be in the case here over the next couple of weeks for the Arizona Coyotes. And by the time this video gets posted, it might already be old based off of some of the information we've heard. So let's get into it. So let's take a look at what we could be looking at here. There's three potential scenarios that are very likely to happen in the future for the Coyotes. So the first one being is selling the team to Phoenix, which at this point seems very unlikely. Apparently the Phoenix Suns owner really doesn't even want to touch this team with a 10-foot pole. So that kind of seems out of the question. And then comes the question of, do they sell the team to the NHL? The ownership in Arizona has obviously shown that not too confident. I know that's a story we've heard plenty of times recently for the Arizona Coyotes, but that's the reality of where they're at. The other option, of course, is relocating this team. And I know that everybody is either way too happy or way too upset about that. But the reality is that just seems really likely at this point. I just don't know how the Coyotes are going to convince the NHL that they can have a stable market for hockey with a building and everything like that in enough time. And Mullet Arena was always supposed to be kind of a bridge to the next arena, and then that fell through, and there's politics involved in all of it, as there is with every building that gets made. But it just seems like one of those things that it seems like we're closer to the end than the beginning. Now, I will say, and I've said this before, for a little bit of optimism from my fans that like the Arizona Coyotes, the Islanders were not too far in, they were in a similar situation back in the day where it seems like the Islanders were on their way out, right? There was rumors that, they had John Tavares back in the day wearing Kansas City Scout jerseys, the Hartford Islanders. I mean, we had a lot of things going on, and quite honestly, I was quite concerned about that. And I know for Arizona fans, it's frustrating not having that certainty, and it's very hard to invest in a team when you think within the next 5 years. And yes, that is my dog's tail. Apologies for that. The uncertainty. It's hard to really to be all in on a team when there's no structure or security or base there, and it's just the combination of everything that's gone wrong for them, right? The arena deal falling through in Tempe, the situation with this team during COVID, the way they handled the staff, the ownership has taken a lot of flack. Old regime, new regime. There's just been so much just bad press for this team. I just don't know how much longer they can truthfully go on like this. And like I said, I hope that the NHL buys the Arizona Coyotes, and that's not necessarily indicating that they leave, but I think the NHL will be buying this team and will be either selling them to someone that has the plan in. And even if that's the case, I think Gary Bettman's got to be thinking to himself, all right, the time's been ticking. Like, how much more are we going to do this ring around the rosy dance? Like, how much more can we really invest in this place before it's just too much? And before things get to a point where it's actually disrespectful to the NHL and a true hindrance on the league. And we've heard over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of reports about Utah, of course, Salt Lake City being that option. A lot of NHL players are enthused about the idea. Even a quote from Gary Bettman the other day said he's enthused about the idea of Utah joining the NHL. So that's obviously going to leave some Coyotes fans a little bit concerned. In the NHL standings, you can see it. A clue right there. The fact that the Arizona Coyotes are not any longer in the Pacific Division and in the Central Division is a little bit odd. Why would they be in the Central Division when they're in the Pacific time zone? Right? Again, you kind of connect the dots and you're thinking to yourself, it kind of makes sense. The writing could be on the wall here. And whether that's in Houston or whether that's in Kansas City or Utah, Central time zone. I believe Utah is Central Time Zone. I'm not guaranteeing that, but I'm pretty sure they are. Either way, the case remains where, I don't know. I really love Arizona, and I want them to succeed there. I love their jerseys. All their jerseys that they come out with, I'm like, I would buy that. I would buy that. I would buy that. I would buy that. But, that only goes so far, right? When you have the stability of an NHL franchise, you can't just go based off of jerseys you would buy or not. And I think the situation for Arizona is to a point where the NHL is saying to themselves, I think it's time we look elsewhere. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If the NHL does decide to move the Arizona Coyotes, where would you like to see them move to? And I'll probably be making a video about that in the next couple of weeks, whether that's, the reports about San Diego, Portland, Oregon, Kansas City, Quebec, all those types of places. And of course the big ones, right? Houston, Salt Lake City being the kind of the front runners at this point. But let me know what you guys think down below. Guys, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already to see more of this content, trade rumor content coming up here, going into the trade deadline in the next couple of months. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Peace out, guys.